What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Student Spotlight interview. I'm here with a good friend, Dillon Andrews. And quick backstory for those of you who don't know. So I initially found like the money Twitter space maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I can't remember. And one of my intros into the space was obviously cold email wizard Daniel Fazio. And at the time that I had discovered him, he had like a Telegram channel called the All Access Pass. And so I joined. One of the guys I was able to connect with inside of that community was Dillon. And it's just cool to see that Dillon is one of the very few people from that group that has stayed in the space and has succeeded in this industry with his own agency. So a really cool backstory. Me and Dillon have just been hitting it off ever since All Access Pass. And so I'll shut up now and have Dillon tell you guys a little bit more about who he is and what he's working on these days.
Well, what's up, guys? I'm Dillon Andrews, as he said. Right now I'm working on an agency called Niche Leads, where we're geared towards like a financial consultants, just kind of solopreneur agent types that are they have higher ticket offers, and they're consultants and that type of demographic. But that's pretty much what I'm working on right now. As Andre mentioned, we met like a long time ago. I was working on websites, and I had packaged up a whole bunch of websites and sold them then, and now I needed something to do. Got pretty good at cold email, and so let's run it up.
Cool, man. Yeah, you crush it now with cold email, and I love how what you've done with your agencies, you've gotten super niche. Like, the name of the agency is Niche Leads, and you live by that name by going really deep into a specific market. And I think that's why you've had a lot of success. But next question I have for you is, like, how did you hear about Client Ascension? I know we've obviously been connected for a little while, and you've been at it for a while, but what was like your entry point into Client Ascension, like, as a community?
Well, I think it's kind of to the point now where if you have a Twitter account, you've had to have heard of it, unless you live under a rock. So props to you guys there. But I mean, you guys all advertise it, right? I see it over and over, and it was on my timeline. I think Dan says, frequency till you can't frequency no more. So
yeah, it's a good quote.
Got me.
Yeah, honestly, staying in front of your ideal customer, it's really similar to cold email with the follow-ups, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Follow up. Awesome. Yeah, dude, cool. So one of the questions I have for you next is, like, I want to hear a little bit about some wins and accomplishments you've had since joining the program. But one thing that stands out about your story is another one of the Dan Fazio quotes, which is like, nothing happens for the longest time, and then you win all at once. And I feel like you and me both can relate to that because we've been in the game for so long. And it's similar to what happened when you first joined Client Ascension. You're kind of, not too active in the community. You're really behind the scenes playing the long game, and all of a sudden you show up in the wins channel one day, and it's just like one deal after the next out of nowhere. And so speak to that if you might.
Yeah, well, a few things there, right? I was quiet because I was building, and then I kind of had success very quick with the actual email piece, but taking the calls and all that was very new. So I did. One of my good buddies, he's been wanting to work with me for a while. He had a gig at a call center for years, and I was like, dude, I think this is the thing you should quit that for. And yeah, it even took him a couple weeks, and then he was just slam dunking them. So that was a huge game changer for me, because I was tired, man. Like, the calls wiped me out. They energized him, and his name's Dayton. I want to introduce him soon to Money Twitter here. I think he finally made a Twitter account. So huge part of it was just getting someone to do something I'm not good at, which you talk a lot about, right?
Yeah, 100%. That's was a huge breakthrough for me as well, as finding someone to take the sales calls, because very similar to you, like, I'd get on sales calls and I'd be drained after, and I wouldn't be able to go and do the email piece that I was a lot more passionate about than the sales side of things. So that's a huge breakthrough. I guess talk a little bit about the email piece.
Yeah, the email piece. Another thing that was extremely helpful is like you won't know this till you're in the situation, and you helped me. Like when I first started, I lost like an $8,000 deal because the guy was mad that my proposal wasn't like fancy enough, right? And that's like little nuanced things. You're like, here's a contract, and it looked like it was written by attorneys 5 times over. So, and you showed me how to do just little things like that, right? That you don't know are an issue till you have the issue. So things like that helped tremendously on the ascension front. And then, yeah, as far as the email piece goes, just send. It's better to send bad. No, I don't want to say bad, but it's better to send it's just always be sending and always be following up, because I think a lot of people don't. They get the replies and this and that, and they're like, oh, well, haven't heard from him. If there's anything I've learned from my partner is that you gotta hound these people, right? You show up in an inbox and you can't just really expect someone to be like, here's however many grand in like 15 minutes. So follow up is a massive, massive thing, and niching down, probably my two main points.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's just been cool to see, like within Client Ascension, all that you've been doing, and you've also been a huge resource to students in the community. And to me, honestly, like with the inbox management stuff, some of your follow-ups are just so creative. It's no surprise that you're crushing it with your own internal campaigns and for your clients. So really cool to see. And that's what I would recommend. Like if someone is in Client Ascension listening to this interview, go reach out to Dillon and learn more about his processes for following up and inbox management and response handling, because he's just got a whole creative side to his brand that he really can tap into and help you guys with, and it's very entertaining too, which is cool. But outside of what we talked about already, where can people find you, follow you, and reach out to work with you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at Dillon_Andrews_. I gotta buy the real one someday, but and then my website is nicheleads.io. So best two ways to get a hold and see what I'm doing.
Sweet. If someone is watching this and they're looking to start an agency, either from scratch or they're looking to grow an agency they've been working on for a long time, any last words or wisdom you want to leave them with?
It's lonely. It's like very lonely if you're by yourself. So there's community is huge. It's kind of cliche and probably lame to you as that sounds, like having people doing what you're doing. Like it'll take someone says, F you, F off, stop. Like it turns into a joke when 100 other people are joking around about it in like a group like Ascension. And then, yeah, send emails, stay focused, and really follow up.
Cool. Appreciate you, bro. Keep crushing it, and I'm excited to hear stories of people reaching out and connecting and learning from you.
You as well, man.